Interpretation of behavior is the third stage of perception. Perception refers to the set of unconscious processes a person goes through to make sense of the sensations and stimuli the individual encounters. Your perception is based on your interpretation of the various sensations and the impressions you get from the stimuli that you get from the world around you. Perception is what helps you navigate the world because it guides your decision-making process, from what to eat for breakfast, the clothes to wear, the relationship to be in, and the reaction you give to something dangerous that is coming your way. If you close your eyes and try to remember the details in the room you are in, do you remember the color of the walls? Do you recall the location of the furniture there? Do you remember the angle that the shadows make? Whatever you can or cannot remember is guided by your perception. Your brain cannot remember everything it counters. You will only take note of some things, guided by your perception. The difference in perception of one person from another is best illustrated by an optical illusion, where if you and your friend look at the illusion, you are likely to note one thing, while your friend will note something entirely different. The difference is brought by the variation in the processes that the brain goes through to create your reaction or perception of stimuli. These processes are selection, organization, and interpretation. This is the last stage of perception. It is the stage in which a person subjectively considers and understands stimuli. This is the stage in which we attach meaning to what we see. Interpretation is influenced by experiences, beliefs, cultural values, self-concept, needs, expectations, involvement, and other individual influences. Experience plays a primary role in understanding behavior. For example, a person who has gone through physical abuse might interpret a person raising his hand towards them as someone who wants to hit him or her. On the other hand, a person with a sports background could interpret the same gesture as someone leaning in for a high five, and he will raise his hand too. Culture provides a structure, rules, expectations, and guidelines to govern behavior. Based on these variations, you will note that people understand, interpret, and respond to behavior in different ways. For example, American mothers are known for celebrating their children's success, however slight. Chinese mothers are known for their focus on discipline. Based on this difference, what would appear to the Chinese mother as a lack of discipline, an American mother might interpret as basic childhood curiosity and exploration. Self-concept is also a crucial influence on the viewpoint a person has. Self-concept refers to the pool of thoughts and beliefs a person has about himself in regard to his racial identity, sexuality, intelligence, and others. If you believe that you are an attractive person, you will likely interpret stares you get from other people as admiration for your beauty. However, if you think you are unattractive, you will consider the stares to be negative judgment. Desire and expectations can determine how you interpret stimuli. An individual's desire to avoid the negative stimuli causes him or her to interpret stimuli in a particular way. The role of schemata. Interpretation of behavior is a conscious and deliberate event in which a person attaches meaning to the experiences he has had using mental structures called schemata. Schemata can be likened to databases that store the information that you use when you interpret new experiences. All of us have schemata, and they are different because of the variations in the experiences we have gone through over time. The bits of information from each event, combined with bits from other incidences, resulting in a complex web of information. For example, you have an overall schema in regard to how you interpret education due to the experiences you have had in school when interacting with teachers and other students. The schema started forming even before you entered school, based on the information you got about the school from your parents, your siblings, and the images you saw from different forms of media. For example, you learned that a ruler, a notebook, and a pen are associated with the learning environment. With time, you found out about new concepts like recess, grades, homework, taking tests, and studying. You also developed relationships with your classmates, teachers, janitors, and administrators. As your education progressed, so did your schema. The ease or the difficulty of revising or reevaluating a schema varies from one person to another and from one situation to another. For example, some students do not experience any problems changing their schemas as they move from one education level to another, even as their expectations of academic and behavior engagement change. Others do not have a smooth transition because they experience problems interpreting new information using the old yet incompatible schema. Most of us have been in situations like these when we encountered mistakes, frustrations, and disappointments revising our schemas, but we eventually learned how to do it right. Being able to adapt your schema is a sign of cognitive complexity and cognitive growth, which is an essential part of life. Therefore, even if a person encounters challenges and makes mistakes, it is all right because the person is in the process of learning and growing. Being aware of your schemata is important because your interpretation determines how you behave. For example, if you are leading a group discussion and you notice that one of the members is shy, you will instinctively avoid asking him to speak based on your schema about how shy people do not like to talk in public or that they make poor public speakers. Schemata also guide your interactions and become a script that guides your behaviors. For example, you know how to act on a first date, at a waiting room, in a classroom, and even at a game show. A person who has never been in any of these environments will know how to behave. Schemata are also used to interpret other people's behavior and to form impressions about who they are. This process is aided by soliciting information about the said persons so that we can place the people in a particular schema. For example, in the United States and many other cultures of the West, the identity of a person is closely tied to what that person does for a living. In an introduction, one of the first things we say about ourselves or about others is the kind of work we do. The conversation you have with a person will shift depending on the title the person introduced to you has. For example, the conversation you have with a doctor is different from that which you have with an artist. We often make similar distinctions based on a person's gender, culture, and other factors that could influence perception. In summary, the schemata guide our interpretation of people, individuals, things, and places, which filters the information and perception we have before, during, and after an interaction. The schemata are stored in our memories and are retrieved whenever we need to interpret behavior and all other stimuli around us. Just like apps are updated when a new version is created, the schemata are updated when we encounter new experiences in life.